Hi, this is Lorraine Tierney with Chat and Craft with Lorraine, and I'm coming to you tonight to talk about kits, all different kinds of kits. The first thing I'd like to do is just make sure this is going on to Facebook correctly because it was not showing me that it went live. So let me see if I can get there. I have several different kits I'm going to show you tonight and tell you a little bit about how they work and what you can expect from them and why they're such a good deal. Now I'm trying to set this up so I can see some comments. Okay. I think we are on Facebook. I'm doing this a different way today, so I'm going to be switching the view from this way to my hands in just a little bit, and hopefully it will work out okay, but I do ask for your patience if I don't quite get it right. So please let me know who's here and say hello. Hi, Shelley. Hi, Debbie. Oh, I'm glad you can see and hear me. That's great. I'm not sure how I'm going to watch comments and look at the rest of this at the same time, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, so first thing, kits are a great option for a new stamper, somebody that's never made cards before, somebody that's never stamped it before, and more experienced stampers. The kits come in a nice little box like this, and they're all inclusive. Everything you need in here except for a pair of scissors. So it's really great for somebody that makes cards to have that to travel and take with them, or take to a friend's house to introduce a friend to card making. So really anybody would enjoy a kit. They're portable, they're easy. You can do them with your kids, your grandkids, the neighborhood kids. They make a great gift. So really, I think a lot of people would enjoy a kit. So I'm going to turn my camera now down to my table, and you will be able to see this is how the kit comes when you order them from Stampin' Up! And you can see all the kits that are available on stampinup.com. And then on the left hand side you can click on Kit Collection. And the kits are selling out fast these days. When there are seasonal ones, they're going pretty quickly. So this is a kit. It's called Notes of Cheer. And this kit is $12 and it makes 9 cards. And this kit does not involve stamping. The sentiments are printed out for you already. So you don't have to stamp, but you can make 9 cards for $12. That's a great deal. And I thought we'd make one together just to show you. And you can see what that's all about. So it comes with pictures and instructions that are all picture based. It even has a ruler right here if you need to measure anything. And so let me show you, this is what we're going to use to make one card. I've pulled these pieces out. These little things are called dimensionals. They're little foam pads that raise things up. There's glue dots. These are some little sequins. Beautiful. They makes 3 of the butterfly cards. And there are card bases, or the actual folded card that these go on. There's some white ones, and there's some butterfly shaped cards in this kit that you can make. They go like this. This is another piece of the kit. And then they always comes with envelopes, because a card is no good without an envelope to mail it in. And here are the sentiments, and you can see it comes in English, I don't know, French, German, maybe that's Dutch. So we are going to use, let's see, we're going to do a little note of, no, you make life brighter, I think we will do. I like pink. So I just take that little sentiment out. It just pops right out. And we can look at the picture right here. I think that's all we'll need to be able to put this card together. The one thing I want to check is it might have you put this card up on dimensionals so that it's not quite flat. So let me see. Yes, it does. So it's showing the little hexagon dimensionals in the corner. So that's what we'll do here. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time watching the comments at the same time. But if you do have questions and I miss it, I will come back and answer the questions later. So these are little double-sided foam adhesive things. You can see they're going to give this a little bit of a lift. I'm going to put one in the middle because who wants a saggy middle? Hi Courtney, nice to see you. Okay, and they have a little release paper you peel off, and now they're sticky. And I like to craft on this grid paper because I can line my card up on that and make sure my card is straight. And then I'm going to put this down, centered and straight. And then I'm going to put, oh, they use a smaller sentiment on this card, but I like this bigger one. It's probably meant to go on a card that is in that orientation. It's long, but like I said, you might need a pair of scissors. I'm just going to trim the edges just a little bit. You can always adapt a kit and always make it the way you'd like it to be. There you go. Not quite even there. We'll just round it a little more. Okay. And I'm going to just use these little adhesive glue dots. So I'm going to take my scissors and I lifted up the whole glue dot, put the glue dot on there, and then I can either use my fingernail, yep, and I take off the release paper. So I'll do that again. I can also use the scissors to take off the release paper. Whoops, flip that over. So it's just a nice flat little glue dot. Okay, and I'm going to say, you make life brighter. And there we have a card you can send out to somebody. And the envelopes are decorated as well. I'm going to pick a pink envelope and you'll see it would fit right in. And you would mail that off. Oh, we could put, let me show you how you would put a little bling on that, because they do have some in the picture. I need to look at my pictures a little better. So this should just open up. If I can get my finger, well, I'm going to cut it because I can't get my finger in there. All right, thank you, Courtney, for sharing this video. That's always helpful. We can show more people how much fun card making and Stampin' Up! Is. I think it's great. We meet the best people. You have the most fun making this hobby, and then it brings joy to whoever you send it to. And the bling just really does add a nice little touch to the front of that card. So that's a kit that does not require any stamping. It's a bargain. And that one is called Notes of Cheer. Let me put these pieces in there so I don't lose them. Okay, here's another kit. This one is called Sentimental Rose, and this is one of my favorite kits that I've ever seen. I just love this one. And this one does involve stamping. So you may need one other thing on this. You'll need some way to clean your stamps. You could clean the ink off your stamps with a wet microfiber cloth, just a damp microfiber cloth, or Stampin' Up! Has something called a chamois, and this is what a chamois looks like when it's new, and this is what it looks like when you use it all the time. So you wet it, and I keep it in a case. And if you purchase a chamois from Stampin' Up! On my website, I would send you a case to keep it in. And then you just wash your stamp off on this. The ink, it does stain, but that doesn't hurt anything. And when you rinse it out, believe it or not, some ink does come out, but it does still look a little bit stained. Okay, so here's the Sentimental Rose Kit. So now the kit comes with a stamp set. So you'll see a beautiful flower and a stamp that says best wishes, happy Mother's Day, thinking of you, happy birthday, thank you, congratulations, and for you. So you can make a wide range of cards with this kit. It also comes with some ink. This is called an ink spot, and this one is a gray granite ink spot. So I'm going to get this one ready to open just by slicing that with my scissors. So it's an ink spot, and let me just move that. Everything you need comes in this box, and it comes nicely wrapped up. So here are the 3 different cards that this kit makes. Hey Chris, it's lovely, beautiful cards, and when you're done, when you've used these supplies, you still have a stamp set and you still have ink, and I'll show you an easy way to make more cards when you're done with what comes in your kit. Okay, so the kits always come with a block, because you need to have a block to put the clear stamps on. This one comes with some bling, some baker's twine, they call that, and some more dimensionals. And then these are the different pieces of the kit. Okay, these are all different shapes. Like I said, it always comes with envelopes, and the envelopes are usually decorated. Some people cut the envelopes apart and use the decorated part of it to make more cards. I don't generally get quite that fancy. These are called die cuts. You just pop them out, so it has some of those. And this particular kit comes with a box you can make. Just put all the cards in and give them to somebody as a gift if you want, or to store them. And this is what the box looks like when you unfold it and put it together. And then the cards fit inside, and it even has a way to decorate that. But we're just going to make one card tonight from this, and I think I'll do this one that goes landscape orientation. So these cards are a little bit smaller than the other size cards, but they are still a mailable card size. This is the envelope that goes with that one, so I'll put that aside. And then I'm just looking at the picture to see what I need that goes with it. So I need this piece of paper and some of the bling, and do these pop out? These do not pop out. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This goes around. I need to find what I'm putting my sentiment on. I might have to read the directions. Here's the little banner that it goes on. All right, and let's see if this tells me where I get that. These don't look like they are cut out. This is what I get for not looking at things ahead of time. Well, we might just leave that little piece off. Or I can just cut one. Oh, here they are. I knew they'd have them ready for us. Here we go. So it just pops out. Okay. These note cards, let me see what they measure, Courtney. That's a good question. These note cards measure 5 by 3.5. Yes, so that's the smallest size that you can mail. Okay, so I'm going to grab my picture back again. That's generally what I use for instructions, and I'm going to start with the stamping, and I'm going to stamp the large flower on here. So I just peel back the protective layer, and these are called cling stamps, so they cling to your block. Then after you clean them, you just take them off and you put them back on this piece, and you can use them again. Now they will stain sometimes, but that does not affect how they stamp. Okay, so I'm gonna put some ink on here. I'm gonna make sure I get it all the way around. If you were using a bigger stamp pad, you might be able to press your stamp on here, but you want to make sure you don't push into the stamp pad so much that you get extra ink around the stamp, because then you'll get a halo when you stamp. Okay. This MJ, this one doesn't have a date. It's not a paper pumpkin kit. This is a kit that's available on stampinup.com. It's just in the kit collections. All right, so I'm going to stamp this in the corner. I'm looking at this picture, and they stamp it off a little bit, off the edges. So I will do the same thing. And I'm just going to press it down. I'm not rocking it, just putting it on there flat, and then I'll pick it up. And you get a beautiful stamp, and that shading comes out automatically. Cover your ink pad so you don't put your hand in it. And then I take the ink pad and I just rub it on my chamois, and it's nice and clean. I can check to see if it's clean by stamping on my scrap paper. Okay, and now I need to stamp a couple of the leaves. So I'll put this one back, and I'll take out the little leaf. And again, I'm just tapping this on there. I'm not pressing. I don't want to get a halo. You can always stamp on your piece of scrap paper first to make sure it's coming out nicely and that you're getting it inked up well. Okay, and they did 2 leaves, one on either side. And I'm gonna ink up both of the leaves, but I want to show you a little trick called stamping off. If you want to get a lighter color, you can stamp a second time without re-inking. And that one came out a little funny because I was off the edge of the paper. But sometimes you want your ink a shade lighter, so you might stamp the first one on a piece of scrap paper and then stamp the second one on your paper, and you get a lighter shade. Okay, let's clean this stamp. And I'm going to make this a, let's see, congratulations, thinking of you. I'm going to make it a thinking of you card. Sorry for all that crinkly noise. And again, I'm going to use this grid paper. My block is lined up nice and square, and I'm going to try to put my sentiment on nice and straight, looking at those lines there, trying to get it even. Okay. And we'll ink that up the same way. This kit, I think, is the same as a paper pumpkin from years ago, Courtney. Yeah, I love it. I love this rose stamp. So there's the thinking of you, and you can see I didn't get a great image on that. Okay, the coverage was not good, and sometimes that happens the first time you use a stamp. So I'm going to try it again on a piece of scrap paper. I'll never get it lined up to stamp in exactly the same place. There you go. So that's much better. I should have done a test one first. You know me, I don't like to waste anything. So I'll flip it over, and this one won't have the little yellow rim on it, but it will be okay. Hopefully that one will come out better. There you go. Thinking of you. Okay, so I think we have all of our parts. So again, this comes with some adhesives. And the bling. So I guess this one is all, I probably have some of those little dots in there. I have an extra sheet of them here. I'm going to put some dots on the back of this. If you prefer to use a liquid glue or one of the roly kind of adhesives that go like this, I'll show you a trick. This one doesn't want to start. If you put, this is a silicone mat, if you put that underneath, it usually starts right up just like that. Okay, so if you have other adhesive, you certainly can use it. It's a little bit quicker. So I'm going to put this card up in the corner. I'm changing it a little bit from the picture. I left a little border around. And then we're going to put these one on top of the other. And sometimes I just snip these little edges off if there's a little nub. I'm not crazy about those. And I'm going to put a couple of the dimensionals on the back of this. That's the side I didn't like. Okay. And I'm gonna, I'll just, for the sake of time, I'm going to use this, but you could use your little dots. And I'm going to put this down right there. And then put, yeah, that background is pretty, Jan. I agree. It gives it a little bit of color. And then put the thinking of you right there. And I'm going to put some of these green bling, decorative dots on here. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture. If I say, oh, I don't know where to put them, I could always look at this picture and just put them in about the same orientation that they did. So one was up here a little bit more, and one was below. I'm going to come this way, kind of frame the sentiment. So there you have it, a card that you got to do a little bit of stamping on. and also decorate. I'm getting a message that I need to plug in my computer, and I thought it was plugged in, so let me just, there we go. Check that. Okay, so this one would go in this envelope, and it's always fun to decorate the envelope just a little bit. So I'm going to clean this and put it back into here. And remember, when you're done with this kit, you will still have this stamp set, and I'm going to show you what we can do with it. I'm going to put a little leaf over here, right by where I might put the address. There you go. And when somebody sees this in their mailbox, they'll know that they're getting happy mail right away. Okay, so let's pretend we've used up this whole kit. We might have a little bling left, we might have some dimensionals left or some dots, and we definitely have the stamp set left. Well, you can purchase note cards from Stampin' Up! That are cut right to size already and come with an envelope. So they have the note card size, which is the same as the card we just made, which I already lost. Here it is. So this is the same size as the card we just made. And it comes with the envelope, so you don't need to cut anything. That's all set for you. Or there's also a Memories and More card pack. And this makes, or comes with slightly larger and slightly smaller cards. So this card, and they come with the line in the middle, so you know right where to fold it. They're scored already. This is a slightly bigger card, and it also comes with envelopes, and it comes with cards that are a great size to tuck into a gift bag, or to put along with a present or on top of a present. So there's also that size. So those are the Memories and More cards. But I'm just going to use a regular note card right now. And this is popping up on me. I'm just going to crease it, or they call it burnishing it with a bone folder. There you go. I'm going to use a different color ink. If you buy a few different kits, you would end up with a collection of different colors of ink. So I'm going to pretend that we have some different colors of ink in our stash and show you how you can make another card with this. So I'm going to use the big flower again. And this time I have the big stamp pad, so I'm lightly tapping. Okay, I don't want to get a goopy halo around the edge. I check for that, and I'm gonna check, and there's that one. This color is called Calypso Coral. So I have my card folded, and I got ink on my hand and ink on the card, so we're going to cover that up with a flower. There are no mistakes in stamping. This is what my friend Courtney says. Only opportunity for creativity. So there you go. I'm covering that up. So I think I'll put one more, and I think I'll go for a lighter shade. So I'm going to stamp once on my scrap paper, and now I'm going to put a lighter shade flower right there. Okay, oh, I like that. I might put one more lighter shade. So I'm going to stamp off and put a lighter shade down here. There we go. And I thought I might put a couple of leaves on with a color called Pear Pizzazz. So I'll wash this stamp. And put it back in here. Always put your stamps back on your piece of plastic or else you'll never find them again. You can ask me how I know. I once stuck a stamp on a pack of baby wipes and it took me months to find it there because they're pretty clear, so you don't really see them. So I'm going to put a flower right off the page right there. A leaf, I'm sorry. And I'm going to put a leaf over here. And I'll put a leaf there. Oh, there you go. I thought that was going to come out a little funky. I didn't quite have enough ink, but like I said, it's okay. And now we're going to stamp a sentiment. And I think I will just use this scrap piece of white I have right here. And on this one we'll write happy birthday. Oh, maybe, yeah, happy birthday. We always need birthday cards. Okay. And I think I'll use the green again for that. We can use, oh, I'm going to test it out. I learned my lesson on the last one. Sometimes it's good to ink it up and clean it off and then ink it up again. It kind of seasons it a little bit. Happy birthday. There you go. And I can use my scissors. I'll never get it straight, but I'm going to try because I said you don't need anything else but your scissors. So we'll go with what we have. Now, to cover it up from being crooked or straight, I can give it a little pizzazz. So I'll put that on with a couple of the dimensionals, pops it up a little bit. Whoa, don't drop it on there. And then we have a happy birthday. And we could always put, sometimes they have inside sentiments that would go on here. This one has a cute little, let me show you this, a cute little dot stamp, I guess it is. I'm going to use the ink spot that came with it, and it gives you a little dot for backgrounds. So I could fill in different places if I wanted with something like that too. It's kind of an abstract stamp. So that's how you can continue to use your stamps and your ink spots and some other things to make more cards after you have finished your kit. We also had a kit until recently. This one sold out recently. Both of the Christmas kits have sold out very quickly. I'm hoping they're going to come back, but I just want to show you this one because they tend to have a tag kit every so often. And I wanted to show you what this looked like. I'm glad you liked those colors, Mary. Thank you, MJ. Okay, so this one is called, oh, I just took the label off. Love You, Love Santa Tag Kit. So again, comes with a stamp set. This says Love Santa, Joy. It has a to and a from, special delivery, merry and bright, Christmas. That's a package. and joy, and it looks like maybe some holly berries. This one comes with a navy, Night of Navy ink spot. Let's see if I can open that up and get ink on myself. So the same little chamois that gets ink off of our stamps can get enough ink off my hands that hopefully I will not get it all over the pieces of the card kit. All right, and again, you'll see there's a pattern here. Your contents come with a picture. This one has 4 different tags it makes. And you might say, oh, I don't know if I want that many tags. Well, you could easily make these into cards as well. If you do Pinterest at all, you know that there's a ton of ideas on Pinterest, and you can type in the name of a card kit and see all kinds of cards that are made with it. I'm having trouble getting the plastic off. So here are some different colored bling or rhinestones, a candy cane, striped baker's twine, always some dimensionals, another block, which I'll just save this one, put aside because I have one out. These are different pieces to pop out to put sentiments on. And there's a Santa, a Christmas tree, more labels, more die cuts, and my dots, and my directions. I'm glad you can't see my floor right now. I am just throwing these things onto my floor. So the card that looks like it has the most creating going on, the tag, is this one. So let's make this one right here. It has a little hole I can poke out, and it looks like I layer a few things on top of it. So there's this evergreen leaf that I'm popping out just gently. Looks like that's going to go on there. But we're going to do a little stamping first. Well, that's good because I like to stamp. I almost lost the stamp. Things get covered up on your desk, and right now I'm trying to work in a very small area here. So I feel like a lot of things are getting covered up. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to take this big leaf off, and I'm making this tag. It looks like they have stamped the leaf 2 times. So that's what we'll do. And what will we do first? We will test the stamp out first. So you can see a lot of ink on this one. Let's see how that comes out. Pretty good. I'm going to clean it. They say sometimes there's a slight film on the stamps in the beginning from when they're produced. So if you use them once and clean them off, that gets them ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this 2 different times. Once this way. There we go. Clean it off, and you can see it's a slightly different color now. It's got a little pink hue to it from the ink, but that's not going to affect anything. Okay, and then we'll do a second one of these up a little bit higher. Okay. And this is going to go on top of that. We'll use our little glue dots. I'll put a few on and then go back and take the paper off so that I don't have it sticking places that I don't want it to be. Okay, and now we'll just take that off. If you were to ever run out of glue dots are something you can buy from Stampin' Up. You can get at other big box stores. You would never have to have something go to waste because you don't have glue dots. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on just like that, and we're going to stamp Joy on a tag. It looks like it might be on a white one and then layered onto a yellow one. So now I have to find my tags. Here we go. Here's the yellow, and here's the white. Okay. Did I clean that off? Yes. This is a great little stamp set. I know that I'll get a lot of use out of that. I keep thinking this says you, but it's Joy the other way. So this one's kind of a negative stamp. The background is stamping and leaving the letters white. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, this is how you know you're a stamper, when your hands look like that. Okay, it's hard to see my white on white. There we go. There's our Joy. Clean that off. Boy, my hands are really a mess. That navy pad is quite juicy. I seem to be getting ink everywhere. Okay, and we'll put a couple of glue dots back here. I tend to like glue dots. I don't want things that I make, whoops, stuck to my finger, to fall apart. So if I'm going to err on the side of not enough or too many, I'd much rather have too many on there. Any of you that make cards already, what's your favorite type of adhesive? Do you like the liquid glue? Do you like the tape runner or the roller thing that I used? You like the glue dots? What's your favorite way to put things on? Okay, and now I'm going to pop that up a little bit. And after you use the sheet of these, there'll be a rim around the outside, and I just snip that into pieces. And I would use these pieces as well, the edges. You never want to let any of that go to waste. MJ says she uses them all. Betty Lou says a tape runner. Courtney likes the glue, liquid glue. Mary likes the liquid glue, glue dots, dimensionals. Janlin likes the tear and tape, so we're all over the place. It's good. There's lots of different ones you can use, and everybody can find their preference. All right, so now I'm going to cut a little bit of the baker's twine. It will even tell me how much they think I should cut. Let's see what it says. I think it says 12 inches. Yep. And like I said, they even give you the ruler. So I can cut. They have centimeters and inches. So there's 9, 10, 11, 12. I can cut this. And then they suggest just looping it through. And tying it off. There you go. And we need to put a couple of little sparkly things on here. So let's take these out. All these little fine motor things are so much harder to do on camera. So there's some different colors here. So I'm going to do a yellow. And I often push down on the rhinestone or the bling first and then lift it up because I want to make sure I get the adhesive coming up with it. I'm going to put one up. Well, I don't like it up there. I'm going to put one over here. And I'm going to do another yellow one. And we'll put it right there. So there you have a tag, and on the back of the tag I could stamp, I'm not going to do it right now, but I could stamp a to and a from, like that, and then you would be able to write who it's to and sign your name. But let's say you think, oh, I don't use a lot of tags. I don't want a tag. Well, you could make a card. So I'm going to pop this one out right here. And we could put that on the larger size of the Memories and More card. Just like that. And stamp some stuff. Oh, Mary doesn't like the little glue dots in the kit. I've grown to like them, Mary. I really have. So I'm going to put some glue dots on the back of this. Now there's a tag thing at the top, and that's going to bother me a little bit. So I'm just going to trim right around this bow and get rid of it. Because if it's a card, it doesn't need that. So you could also put these tags on different colored card bases, but I really want to stick with, if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of supplies, how you could use these. And a pack of note cards could be all that you need to add to this so that you have more possibilities. It does take a little bit to get all these off. Okay. So let's think about where I'm going to put this, because I'm going to want to put a sentiment on it. Oh, one of my glue dots fell off. Okay. So you could have your car careening out of control one way or the other, but I'm a pretty safe driver, so I think I'm going to go for straight, or as close to straight as I can get. And then I'm going to do a Merry and a Christmas. Let's take this stamp off. I'm tempted to just put it on my desk, but I'm telling you, I'll lose it. Okay, I wish this would lay flat. There we go. So sometimes I don't like to stamp directly on my card, especially after I've put something on it, because if I make a mistake, I don't want to waste a tag and a card base, but I'm going to go for it tonight. I am going to test that out and clean it off. But what do I tell everybody? It's only paper, right? And also, some people wouldn't mind a card that isn't perfect because it's still a card. So I'm going to do Merry. There we go. And I like this, the Christmas is in cursive, the Merry in the block letters and the Christmas in cursive. I like that mix of fonts. Let's make sure I got the one that says Christmas, yes. Okay. Merry. Oh, I can tell it looks a little like I didn't have 100% ink coverage. So I'm just gently tapping that on there. I don't want to push the ink away, and I don't want to get a halo, and I can check. It looks pretty good. Merry Christmas. I don't know if I'm straight. Hopefully I'm straight enough. And now I think we need to put a little bling on that. And that's how you can turn those tags into a card pretty easily. I do want to put a little something on the envelope that goes with this. Let's see if I can find one quickly. I have quite a pile over here. Here we go. Here's the envelope. And on this one I can put, I think I'll put it on the back flap. Remind me, I'm going to go back and put some bling on this. Okay, let's stamp this off. The Memories and More card base. Let's see, Mary, how big that is. It probably says on the package. 4.5 by 6.5 for the large size, 4.5 by 3.5 for the smaller size. So it's a nice size. I don't believe you need extra postage to mail it. I think it's still just one stamp. So I think this is supposed to look like a package, but I think I want to put it diamond shaped. And I can, because I'm the card maker and nobody knows. I can do that. And then I could even put one this way. And I can put another one this way. All right. Oh, Courtney had a great idea of using the feather to stamp a background behind the card even. That would have been really pretty, Courtney. I'm sorry I didn't see that comment in time. But there. So now we have a nicely decorated envelope and a card. It's not a fancy card, but a very cute card. Looks like people are ready to come to your house and deliver some presents. So I do have just one more kit. Thank you for bearing with me. We are almost done, but I do want to show you a paper pumpkin kit. And this is a monthly subscription kit that you can get. It is $22 a month. And when you subscribe by the month, the $22 includes shipping. You just pay tax, and it comes mailed to you just like this. This is the October Paper Pumpkin Kit. It's called Paper Pumpkin, and this kit makes Christmas cards. Now you never know exactly what's in here when you order this. Sorry about that glare. There we go. You get a sneak peek of it. They'll tell you it's Christmas cards, and they'll tell you what colors go with it, but they will not tell you exactly what's in it. But you can have your subscription skip a month. If the description sounds like something you don't want, you can skip a month. And also you can get it and make different things with it, just like we made a card out of a tag kit. So this one has Merry Christmas, Peaceful Christmas Wishes, Holiday Cheer to you and yours, from our home to yours. It has all kinds of trees. It has a lot of fun. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Michelle, wanted to know which stamp set the feather was in. And Michelle, this feather came in a kit called Love Santa tags, Love You Santa. I don't remember the exact name of the kit, but it is currently unavailable. It's sold out really, really fast. So this paper pumpkin comes with a green ink spot called Shaded Spruce. They always wrap your package in tissue paper. And this one has some beautiful cards in it. I've been dying to get into this kit, but I was saving it for tonight. I've seen lots of examples on Facebook and on Pinterest. Their Christmas card kit is usually quite lovely. So these are the cards that it makes. I think it makes 10 cards. 10 cards. 5 with the tree background, and 5 with some plaid and silver trees. And then the envelopes are decorated as well. So I'll just show you these quickly. I'm not going to make one right now, but there's the beautiful envelopes, and the inside of the envelope has plaid. And again, people are taking those envelopes apart because they're too pretty. Oh, I love the little bling on this one, some silver sparkle. These are the Noel words. They just punch right out. And then you have your card bases. And you could cut this in half and put this on 2 other card bases and get twice as many cards out of it. That's for your sentiment. These are for your sentiment. These are the beautiful trees. These are gorgeous. That's a card also. I think I'd have to cut this apart because who needs a decorated back of a card? Nobody's going to see that. And then there's your other pieces of the kits here. And on the back of the kit, let's see, here's the kit and the instructions. It gives you a couple of ideas here for other things that you can do with it. It tells you what colors they used in the kit so that if you do have other inks or cardstock, you can use it. And they also show you some other products that are from the Stampin' Up! Catalog that would go with this. So there's lots of information in here. So this is a paper pumpkin kit. Again, you'd be left with a stamp set and an ink spot when you were done, and you could make more cards with that and have more things in your stash, and you get quite a collection of different ink spots. You'd be really getting ready to just make lots of cards. So I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different kits. Remember, these are great for people that are beginning, for people that are experienced stampers. There's a lot you can do with them. There's a lot of alternatives, and you can really you know, start collecting some nice stamps and making some nice cards. Just adding a little pack of note cards or a pack of the memory and more cards, and you've got a lot of different things you can make. So if you have any questions, please add them to the comments or message me. I'd love to help you make cards at home. I'd love to do a Zoom class for you and some friends, or a Facebook group for you to make cards with people. It's really a lot of fun. It brings a lot of joy. It's really, really something I think everybody can do and everybody can enjoy. Sorry, I forgot I could come back to this view. This is new tonight for me doing it this way, but I hope that you'll think about a kit, maybe for yourself or maybe for somebody else. Have a good night, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.